Welcome again. In this module I would like to cover some other data we explorers use to get information of the underground. I would like to start with hydrocarbon seeps. In assessing the hydrocarbon potential of an area, finding a hydrocarbon seep is extremely valuable information. It proves a mature source rock is present in the area. So let's have a look at this video clip.
God, it's hot. Woo.
Now, what you see here is burning gas escaping from the rocks. And why does this occur? Now, let's assume that below the surface we have a faulted geological structure. At some 3,000 meters depth, we have a source rock, like this rock in my hand over here. And at 3,000 meters depth, this organic rock is heated up. And then hydrocarbons move out of the source rock along the faults upwards until it reaches the seal and fills up the reservoir with oil. Along the big fault to the right of the picture, hydrocarbons can seep along the fault to the surface. And seepage might look like a pool of hydrocarbons bubbling up or burning gas like in the YouTube video. It is also possible that you might see oil spills at the sea surface if the fault is at the sea bottom. Another important data source is wireline logs. Wireline logs measure different physical properties of the rocks. After drilling the hole, electrical tools are lowered in the hole and record different rock signals. With the data from the wireline logs, we can distinguish geological layers, determine rock and fluid properties such as porosity, permeability of the reservoir, and establish when the reservoir or whether the reservoir contains any hydrocarbons. Here I have a rock that comes from 3,000 meters depth. And then here I have a piece of equipment that shows how we take a core from the subsurface. This is the core bit that goes around the rock. The rock is inside the core barrel over here, and when we have cored enough, then the core is pulled upwards to the surface. After the core has been cut, the drill string is pulled up. When the core is brought to surface, it is shipped to a contractor to describe the core and cut the core plugs. The holes in the core that you see over here were taken to take the core plugs. Here I have a core plug. The contractor will measure the porosity of this plug and the permeability. Important parameters to assess the volume and how well the hydrocarbons will flow. Now, one of the best aspects of this job as a geologist is that he or she goes sometimes to the field to study rocks in the mountains. This is important because despite all the information from seismic, wireline logs and cores, we need to visualize the subsurface. I always say you can describe the beauty of Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie with words or a picture, but it's better to see them for real. Now, this picture shows young graduates studying aeolian rocks in Oman. In similar rocks, but of much older age, we have gas in the Groningen field in the Netherlands or oil in the Appomattox field in the Gulf of Mexico. I want to close this module with a success story from Oman. In 1958, we drilled one of the first wells in Oman, Fahoud 1. You see here the exploration manager at that time looking at the exploration well. The well location was based on surface geology and seismic. But it came as a big surprise that the well did not find the predicted reservoir and hence also no hydrocarbons. Several years later, another geologist looked again at the well results and the surrounding geology and concluded that the well missed the hydrocarbons by less than 100 meters. Now the second Farhoud well was drilled and struck oil. It is now the biggest hydrocarbon field in Oman. I hope you enjoyed this module. Please have a look at your exercises.